What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. Now before we get into this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, guys, we are now officially 15 subs away from 200. I know we can do it. We are so close to hitting 200 subs. I know we can do it. 200 subs before the summer comes to a close. Let's make it happen, you guys, because the moment we get to 200 subs, I'm opening up this Korean Strike of Neos booster box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes to potentially pull this guy, Elemental Hero Air Neos, the so-called forbidden Yu-Gi-Oh card. Is it really forbidden? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. If this channel gets to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel, excuse me, that I got from my partners over at Collector Store, so be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there with this set. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull my second ever Collector's Rare. It wouldn't be the first time I pulled a Collector's Rare, because I also pulled this out of my Genesis Impact box opening from a few months ago, and that is this, guys, a Collector's Rare B-Cop from the Underworld. I know the glare, like, the glare. I know it doesn't do it justice, but so I am going to be getting this graded at some point. I don't know when though, but I will be getting it graded at some point. But if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys have not done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, as my hair is coming off. Turn on the notification bell, and be sure to follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this: what was your favorite SummerSlam moment? As in like, what would you consider to be your favorite SummerSlam match? I'll say that's better. What is your favorite SummerSlam match? Let me know down in the comments below, because for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, I'm going to be talking about the 5 matches that need to happen at SummerSlam, and I'm looking at this list that I wrote down. These are probably the most obvious, given what has happened in the last I want to say like couple months, maybe the last like 2, 3, maybe 4 months, I would say. But these matches definitely need to happen. But the question is, what are those matches? Let's get straight into it, guys. Kicking things off, we actually have a match that a lot of people have been wanting to see for quite some time. Asuka, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's title. Now, the reason why now for me personally, the reason why this match needs to happen is because of a few things. Number one, Asuka and Bianca are in a rivalry of their own, dating all the way back to what was it, Elimination Chamber back in February in Montreal. And Asuka ended up winning the Chamber. She went on to WrestleMania and failed to capture what was then known as the Raw Women's title, but ended up winning the title from Belair at Night of Champions in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And this obviously led to Charlotte Flair getting involved, which brings us to the second reason. Everyone knows that when it comes to the battle of Asuka versus Charlotte Flair has always won, no matter what. She's always won every single match, including the match that they had at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. So obviously that's probably the second. That right there is probably one of the biggest things out there. And not only that, but let's not forget, we've seen, you know, Bianca, she said it in so many interviews over the last year or so, that she's beaten Sasha Banks, who unfortunately is no longer with WWE. She's defeated Becky Lynch, and she's defeated Bayley. The only other member of the Horsewomen she has not beaten is obviously Charlotte Flair. If she were to defeat Charlotte Flair, actually, as in pin her, she would become the only woman in WWE to pull it off. Although I think she would be the only one. I think she would be the only one to ever do it. Which that right there would be incredible. That right there would be incredible. The second reason is obviously because of the rivalry that Charlotte has had with Asuka over the years. But the third reason is the fact that Charlotte Flair is under the impression that she made the line. Bianca Belair is trying to get a rematch for her title, which now we know this Friday on SmackDown, Bianca Belair is getting her rematch for said women's title against Asuka. But because of what happened last week, I think what was it, in London? Because of what happened last week, unfortunately Charlotte Flair failed to capture the women's title because of Bianca Belair. So we know that Charlotte Flair is going to get involved just like Bianca did. And I think that's I think that right there is why this match, this triple threat match, definitely needs to happen at SummerSlam. Because as of right now, where's my book? Sorry guys, I had to get my book out. But anyway, as of right now, as the card stands right now, both matches have not been confirmed as of yet. But we have Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the undisputed Universal title, and then we have Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. So we don't really know if these two matches are going to be official. But yet we also don't know if WWE will go this route of Asuka, Belair, and Charlotte, or if they're gonna go a different route. But we also have to keep in mind that Io Sky has the women's money in the Bank briefcase. So that's something that WWE, or rather Asuka, if you will, definitely needs to be mindful of, as do Belair and Charlotte. But this match definitely needs to happen at SummerSlam. The next one up is probably the most obvious: Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark against Becky Lynch and Lita. The reason being is probably the most obvious. Trish was the one that attacked Lita backstage when Lita and Becky were supposed to defend the tag titles against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And that was that was when Trish, attacked Becky Lynch after the match when they lost the titles to Liv and Raquel. To Liv and Raquel, which again we know that it led to a match between Trish and Becky at Night of Champions. Zoe Stark got involved, hit and hit Becky Lynch with the Z360, and that was what gave Trish Stratus the victory. But obviously we know that Lita is still gunning. We know that Lita is still going to be gunning for Trish Stratus at some point. And I think now would be the perfect opportunity for Lita to come back and team up with Becky Lynch once again to take on Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark, because it would basically be a battle of two legends versus a teacher and a student in the form of Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark. And I think if there was one person that Becky Lynch would want to team up to take on a woman like Trish Stratus, it would be Lita, because no one knows Trish Stratus in the ring more than Lita. So it would only make sense if this tag team match came to pass. But then again, it could happen on Raw at some point within the next few weeks, but only time will tell. Next one up, again is another one of the most obvious. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler. Shut up and take my money. Let's make it happen. We knew the moment Shayna Baszler aligned herself with Ronda Rousey late last year, we knew, even I knew full well that something had to give. We knew that Ronda was never one to, I wouldn't say pander to the fans, and I wouldn't really say please the fans, but Ronda was more of a villain, I guess you could say, rather than the hero. But now in this story, it's Shayna Baszler who's the hero and not Ronda, because you guys know that when Ronda debuted in WWE back in 2018, Ronda was the hero and Shayna was in NXT at that time. So if you think about it, the roles have reversed. Shayna is the hero, and the entire WWE universe wants Ronda out of WWE. And I even talked about it earlier this week. What was it? Sometime last week, I think it was. If I can find it, I talked about the possibility of Ronda Rousey. It was just a few days ago. You know, I talked about the rumors of Ronda Rousey potentially leaving WWE, which again, it's possible that we could see her leave WWE, but we don't really know. We don't know all the specifics as to what's going on, but I've been hearing a lot of but I heard rumors that supposedly her contract with WWE will be expiring at next year's WrestleMania when it takes place in Philly. So we don't know if it's going to be true or not, but only time will tell. We will find out as time progresses. But this is a match that we definitely need to see, because it's a battle of wits and submission. Who's more smarter? Who's smarter in the ring, and who's got a better submission game? Is it Ronda or is it Shayna? That we will find out eventually, but I'm pretty sure tonight on Raw we're gonna find out. I'm pretty sure we're gonna find out, and we'll probably see Shayna challenge Ronda at SummerSlam. Probably either on tonight's episode of Raw at the time that I'm actually filming this, which is actually the same day it'll be posted, which is actually Monday, July 10th. Or we'll probably know about it on social media or sometime in the next like couple weeks or something. So we will see, but only time will tell. But this next one, I want you guys to be the judge on this one, because last week, what was it? Last week at Money in the Bank? Yeah, last week at Money in the Bank, we saw we saw John Cena return to WWE, wanting to see, and revealing that WrestleMania should be in London, and the only venue that could fit WrestleMania is obviously Wembley Stadium. And Grayson Waller comes out and says, no, it should be in Australia. The only other venue I could think of would probably be the Melbourne Cricket Ground, if I remember correctly. I mean, both ideas are possible, but they both got into an altercation. John Cena walked out by hitting an attitude adjustment onto Grayson Waller, and this past Friday on SmackDown, he went toe-to-toe with Edge, a Hall of Famer, and Edge told Grayson after the match, "Hey Waller, you swam," proving that Grayson Waller is gonna have a hell of a future on SmackDown in WWE on the main roster. Do I want to see this match? Honestly, I do. I kind of do, because this would basically be John Cena's second match this year in WWE, and I know that he's at a point right now in his career where he's done everything that there is to do in WWE. There's nothing left for him to do. So a match against another young gun like Grayson Waller could really be a good match, especially for Grayson Waller, because if he were to pin John Cena at SummerSlam, think of the publicity that he would get on social media all over the world. Headlines would say Grayson Waller pins John Cena. The same thing that happened with guys like Kevin Owens, guys like AJ Styles, guys like Austin Theory. So it's possible, but I think I'll let you guys be the judge of that. And this final one, this fifth and final one, is another obvious one. Gunther, Drew McIntyre, the Intercontinental title defended. Do I even need to say any more? I mean, think about this, right? WrestleMania earlier this year. Triple threat, Sheamus, McIntyre, Gunther, the Intercontinental title. It was an instant classic. Probably one of the greatest Intercontinental title matches since Gunther and Sheamus in Cardiff. And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot because the match in Cardiff was pretty good. It was pretty good. Think about this. McIntyre is arguably one of the most dominant superstars we've had in WWE so far, and this would basically be as Big E would say, the clear case of big meaty men slapping meat. Yes, I know it's a joke, it's a bad one, I get it, but to be fair, this match right here has the makings of a WrestleMania main event. If this match were to take place at SummerSlam, think of how insane this match would be. It would be a crazy match, and with the fact that Gunther has the rest of Imperium backing him up, and McIntyre would have Matt Riddle backing him up, it's possible we can even see Randy Orton come back and reform RK Bro with Matt Riddle, which is possible, but we don't know. There's been a lot of rumors that Randy Orton could come back in time for SummerSlam, or maybe he might come back on the night of SummerSlam to help McIntyre become Intercontinental Champion. But only time will tell. But that match definitely needs to happen. But I want your guys' opinion also. Aside from the question of the day, let me know down in the comments what match you guys want to see take place at SummerSlam. I'm very curious about that. So let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.